Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining me, Alyssa Arundel, for your year 2023 Chinese horoscope zodiac forecast. This event occurs on the 22nd of January of this year and doesn't happen again until the 9th of February 2024, making this a 13-month lunar cycle, so we have an extra month in this year. So for this video, we're going to explore the myth and the legend behind the Chinese zodiac horoscope. We're then going to look into what the year of the rabbit holds for us this year, as well as specifically the year of the water rabbit. Also going to break down your 12 unique zodiac signs and have a look at what happened last year of the water rabbit. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for joining me here today. I know that I'm not always here on Patrick's channel, but I am hoping to do some more videos, particularly around tarot. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. This really is a community and we're really happy to have you here. So if you would like to subscribe, just click on that button, and if you click on the notification bell, you'll get alerted every time we drop a new video. If you'd like to like and comment on this video, I'll be really grateful, and I'll be sure to get back to each and every one of your comments. But if you don't know what your zodiac sign is for your Chinese horoscope, then Patrick's put together a really nifty calculator, which I will leave in the description box beneath this video, where you'll be able to put in your details and it will tell you exactly what animal year you were born into. You can also check out what your friends and families are, see if you're compatible. I am year of the snake, so there you go for transparency. But let's hop into the mythology and the legend behind the Chinese New Year. So it starts off with the goddess Newu creating humanity and humankind. And as she's going back to the heavenly place, she notices that there's a hole in the sky. And so she goes to the emperor of the heavenly place, lets him know, and he says, you got to go down to earth, sort this out. You know, humans are going to become extinct. So she convenes with the water god, who says in order for the planet to be saved, animals and humans are going to have to work in harmony. The only problem is all of the animals had fled to the mountains, and so they needed to find a way to make this happen. Rat volunteered himself to be tribute. And at first the water god was a little bit unsure about Rat taking on this challenge. Rat was seen as an unsightly creature, you know, a little bit of a vermin type creature, but he really wanted this responsibility to bring animals and humans together. A little bit of a humanitarian, you might say. So Rat went off with this huge task to use his senses to find the other animals, bring them down from the mountains, and then help humanity. So off he goes. He comes across Tiger, who is king of all of the other animals, and says, look, we need to work together to get this planet sorted. So the animals come down from the mountains and fix the problem. So to celebrate, the emperor of the heavenly place announced that all of the animals who had taken part in the control of sorting out the planet, which had a lot of flooding and hurricanes and earthquakes and basically saved humanity, he said that they would have an opportunity to participate in a race. The first 12 animals to arrive at the altar would become zodiac gods. The animal to reach the altar first would be superior above all the other 11 animals. The night before the race, Rat knew that he wouldn't win the race outright, so he needed to think fast. He decided to hide himself under Ox's horn. He chose Ox because he thought him the most enduring animal of the group. The next morning the race begins, and just as Ox was to be the first to reach the altar, Rat jumped out from under his horn and got to the altar first. The human beings were outraged. Yes, the rat had helped finding the animals in the first place and saved humanity, but he'd also used trickery to get to where he wanted to go, and they felt that this was very unfair. However, the Emperor of Heaven honored the results and told the humans that it could not be changed because playing tricks was also a kind of wisdom. In this way, the rat became the top of all the other zodiac signs. So now you know the myth and the legend behind the Chinese New Year, let's have a look at what the year of the rabbit might hold for us. What is the energy of the rabbit? What energy do people born in the year of the rabbit have? Well, the rabbit is very closely linked with the moon. Some people say this is because the moon looks like it has a rabbit inside of it. Some people say this is because the rabbit holds qualities of the moon, such as purity, illumination, peacefulness, and gracefulness. People born in the year of the rabbit can sometimes be a little nervous, sometimes have a deep inner sensitivity, and because of this, they may like to avoid conflict. It's not because they're passive people, it's just because they're honoring and protecting themselves. Rabbits are very aware of their circumstances, they're very aware of their situation, both their outer situation and what is happening within them. So they make very excellent students. They are meticulous. They really do hone the fine details of a situation. So they can make very good sports people. They can make very good actors. They can make very good scientists. It's all about looking at those details. And so some famous people that we have that are rabbits are Albert Einstein. We have an array of actors: Johnny Depp, Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, Quentin Tarantino, all born in the year of the rabbit, water rabbit specifically. But we also have sports people such as David Beckham, Lionel Messi, Michael Jordan. So it just gives you a little bit of a flavour of what rabbit people may be like. They may come across as a little bit quiet and a little bit nervous at times, but actually they have a really huge aptitude for learning and for really developing themselves in whatever field they land themselves in. So what will the year of the water rabbit hold? Each year when we move into a new cycle, not only do we move into a cycle of a new animal, we also move into a new cycle of an element. So that could be wood, fire, earth, water, metal. It so happens that this year is the year of the water rabbit. And so following a very eventful year, last year we had the year of the dominant tiger, which was all about forward motion, action, things happening at quite a fast pace. The rabbit then comes in this year and offers us some gentleness, to be honest. This year can bring us both individually and collectively the opportunity for great healing, to really find inner balance, but also to make plans for the future. The year of the water rabbit really asks us to show tolerance towards each other, to become aware of any inner impulses that we have that are detrimental to us. So it's fine to have those inner impulses that help us to go forward and do things, but if we're having unhealthy impulses, this year is really allowing us to look at those hurts and wounds and bring them into the light. The big question that we can all be asking ourselves this year is, what can we change to live a more harmonious lifestyle? This year, though, could also be a year of recognition for our previous hard work. We could see some things come into fruition. This could be through a job promotion, a house move, maybe a relationship deepening to a new level. If we've been working really hard and diligently at something, we can get some rewards from that this year. We might also see the year of the water rabbit as a year to settle any karmic debts. Like we said earlier, the rabbit is a keen observer to the outer material world, but also the inner spiritual and emotional world. If we have been repressing any feelings, especially if we've been doing this in order to keep the peace, this year can see these emotions come to the surface and, like we said, great deep inner healing. Sometimes these conversations that come up are going to be very uncomfortable, but they are going to be necessary. And I don't just see this on an individual level. This is also on a global level where countries are going to be conversing, coming up with perhaps a new new treaties, new deals, new opportunities, and these are not all going to run smoothly, because as we've seen from the past few years, we have become very polarized. We see this on social media, we see this within our own lives. Families literally falling out over having a different opinion. What I'm really hoping that we start to see this year is that tolerance, that ear for listening, that ability to know that we don't have to attend every argument that we're invited to, that we might not agree with someone's point of view, but instead of seeing that as a negative, see that as, well, that's perhaps because I haven't had their experience, and perhaps I could learn something from this. So really a year of not getting so irate if people don't see things the same way as us. This is a lot more chill. The rabbit just wants to not keep the peace for the sake of it. He really wants some real solutions to some very big questions and some very big problems, but is going to do this in a much more mature way than, say, the tiger would. So that's the kind of energy that we're going into this year with. But what happened in the last year of the water rabbit? Will that give us any clues for this year? And so the last year of the water rabbit was in 1963, and we had some pretty big global events that year. Let's have a look at the more difficult ones. We did have a hurricane in the Caribbean, which caused a lot of casualties. There was also a hurricane in Bangladesh, which caused a massive tsunami in East Pakistan, killing 22,000 people. So the weather front at the start of that year was quite traumatic. The Pope also passed away. We also had a military coup uprising in Greece, which got rid of the then president, George Papadopoulos. So there was that kind of unrest coming into fruition as well. But perhaps most notably from that year, on the 22nd of November 1963, was the assassination of John F. Kennedy in Dallas, Texas. And that, obviously, a very huge event, not only in American history, but also in global history. We had a lot of unrest within the UK cabinet, with ministers resigning due to a scandal which involved an affair with a minister, and also a sort of love triangle with a Soviet Navy officer. So that was very much to the fore of the UK politics. So a lot of stuff going on, a lot of difficult energy. On the more progressive side of things, though, we had Beatlemania basically taking over the world. Love Me Do was in all of the charts, hitting number ones all over the place. First woman in the world from the USSR was sent into space. So that was quite a huge leap forward. We also had the United States of America approving a partial nuclear test ban treaty. This was also signed by the United Kingdom and the USSR, and went on to be signed by 123 other countries, making it virtually universal. And this was in a bid to slow down the nuclear arms race. We also had the Sabin oral polio vaccine come into play. This was taken with a lump of sugar, and it meant that the disease is pretty much nearly eradicated now for anyone that takes that vaccine, and it was a huge problem at the time. I know my grandmother went to school with a lot of people who suffered from polio disease, so this was a huge, to get this vaccine at that time was massive. But perhaps most notably this year as well was the iconic speech by Martin Luther King when he delivered his I Have a Dream speech. So some big standout stuff from 1963 that people are still talking about today. And so if we compare the energy to what's going on in our world right now, I really do think that we can see some parallels. Of course, if we take a snapshot from any event in history, we are going to see some similarities. But I think particularly this energy, what I'm taking away from this is that it was a year of great change. It was a year of people coming together, whether this was through grief, whether this was through shock, Whether this was through optimism and even ideologies, this was a sharing of ideas coming together. And so I think that's the kind of energy that we can expect for 2023 as well. So we're now going to have a look at each of the 12 Chinese zodiac horoscope signs. But if you do want your more in-depth written horoscope, you can find that in the description box down beneath this video to find out important months and key dates specifically for your sign. But without further ado, let's get into it. Right, the year of the water rabbit might bring you a lot of luck and happiness this year, to be honest. You can see some things really transforming in your love life, and if you are single, this could be an opportunity to meet someone if that's what you would like. If you are already in a relationship, this could be deepening in some way and really changing for the better. This is a really good time as well to explore your passions, particularly those pertaining to your career this year. Financially, there are ways to prosper this year, but you have to remember to properly manage your finances, and then there will be an improvement in that way. Ox, your love life may actually really look a lot healthier this year. Your bonds, if you're already in a relationship with someone, might become stronger than ever. If you are single, you could find yourself, meeting someone. I feel that this year your personal life really meshes with your professional life, and your professional life is going to undergo some huge metamorphosis this year. There could be some turbulence around this, but by the end of the year I think that you're going to have a more steady pace of knowing where it is that you want to go within your career. So this could mean that job opportunities come up, you go for them, and then for whatever reason it gets changed or taken away, and this could feel very jarring, but please know that I feel that this is all because you're coming into alignment with what it is that you really want to do. Regarding your finances, be a little cautious on spending any money that you don't have to. Any unnecessary things could lead to a little bit of trouble with your finances, so just be more mindful of what you are using your resources for. Tiger, your Chinese horoscope for 2023 could bring you some prosperity, luck and abundance, particularly related to your love matters. You might be enjoying a fulfilling time with your partner. If you're single, you could be in the mood to meet someone. This goes for quite a few signs this year. I think it's because the year of the rabbit is about that communication. Within your professional life, the more people that you meet, the more people that you get out there and talk to, the more likely you are going to be to have that professional development that you want to see. So it is a year of mixing and mingling. Rabbit, well, this is your year, and so this can promise you some quite favourable outcomes within your love life. Particularly the first quarter of the year is good if you want to meet somebody. For rabbits that are already in a deep relationship, there are some issues that could come up that are not, terrible, but just need ironing out a little bit. If you're not on the same page about things, it is talking things through, getting things from the past out into the open. Career-wise, you might feel more and more fulfilled, but if you're feeling like you want to change your career, this may not be the year to do it. Now, I'm not saying don't go for it if you get an opportunity that you really want to do, but you're already dealing with a lot of stuff, like with your home life, with your love life, and so that shift, particularly if you're moving to a new location for your career, might be a bit much. So just make sure you don't bite off more than you can chew. Make sure you don't spend more than you earn, and just get all your cards in order, before you make any more big life-changing decisions. Dragon. This year can have a twofold outcome for you. If you're in a relationship, you might find you have some really exciting goals and ambitions that you're really reaching and going for together. So this could be you go into some sort of business partnership with your loved one, or there's a common goal that you're really working towards. If you're in a new relationship, then you might find there's a little bit of turbulence at the beginning of this. This won't be the same for all dragons. Some dragons may really find their soulmate this year. Professionally, your hard work and dedication can really help you. You have to have that effort that you put in constantly, but it will be rewarded and it will be acknowledged. And this year for you, dragon, is really a year of getting that good exercise, getting that good diet, making yourself feel more harmonious. And then if there are these challenges within your personal relationships, you'll feel more able to deal with them because you'll be coming from a place of strength rather than a place of lack. Snake, for you, this can be a year full of positive changes. The things that you've worked hard for can really pay off. You might struggle a little bit this year in having time for your loved ones, right? This could be a romantic relationship. It could also be friendships. And so because of this, this year is asking you to try your best to maintain a good work-life balance. You may be tempted to just go work fully this year. But don't forget the people in your life. They're very important too. You could see some competition from co-workers, other people in your field of work this year. It may feel like a bit of a hindrance to you. They may be surpassing you in some ways and you think, well, that was my idea and nobody ran with it and now everybody's running with it. Just take a breather. This will start to ease itself out towards the end of the year. Horse, for you, well, you might have a very rigorous life this year. The year of the water rabbit really does promise that you might have some romantic time with somebody that really allows you to deepen your bond. If you haven't had time for relationships in the past, perhaps you're making time for them now. If you're single and you're going into a new relationship, this could also be a time for really getting to know somebody. And if you've had your walls up, if you've been feeling blocked, this could be the year that those blocks and walls come tumbling down. Career-wise, the year might start with a few difficulties initially. Things will start to settle down and you'll start to see some progress. For your sign this year, your finances are a little bit like a seesaw, right? So some months you might feel a bit flush. Some months you're going to feel that you're bringing in a bit of a loss. So you're advised to save for those more difficult months and not just splurge when you make a good profit for a month. Sheep, for you, for the year of the rabbit, you may face some difficulties as you're coming straight into the year, but these difficulties are going to make you stronger than ever. When it comes to your love life, you're asked to step away from engaging too much. This is another way of saying don't be too clingy, right? I cannot say it in a more straight way than that, right? You're asked to take some space for you, not just for them, for you. This is so essential in a relationship. You are the go-to person. People trust you, people advise you, but you have to take space for yourself. You also have to give other people space. Career-wise, hold on to your hat. Things could be happening really, really quickly. Your hard work, your skills rewarded. Really figuring out how to make money work for you better this year. Seeing it as it working for you, not you just working for it. So maybe looking into some investments. I'm not a financial advisor, but just maybe different ways of viewing your money, and particularly your children or young people in your life are going to be important this year, and that you're going to be a sort of mentor to them. Monkey, this year begins quite peacefully, quite blessed, and quite just a nice happy period for the start of the year. If you're wanting to change some things within your love life, just know that you can. If you're wanting to meet somebody, or you're wanting something from a relationship that you're currently in, it's best not to push it. right? Just wait for it to naturally happen this year. This isn't a year of pushing and kind of bulldozing in, like we said earlier. This is a year of more having that receptive energy that is linked with the rabbit and with the moon. The right person at the right time. It's so cringe. It's such a platitude, but it really can be true at times. If you've had a challenging period within your career, know that it might just take flight this year. You'll be moving in a different direction. And if there have been some squabbles in your work environment where you feel that you've been wronged in some way, you could see some victories coming in. So maybe winning a tribunal of sorts, maybe some compensation that you're owed. Rooster, this year may have its ups and downs. If you are in a committed relationship, you're learning more about how to balance your professional life and your personal life. Very similar to what Snake is going through. Maybe there are going to be times this year where you don't have enough time to put into your relationship because you're so focused and driven on work. And whilst that's great, don't forget the people around you. This doesn't just have to be romantic relationships. This could also be friendships. And also, don't be afraid of having difficult conversations this year. It's the only way that you're going to be able to get things out in a healthy way. If you're currently single and you're wanting to open your heart up for some kind of love this year, it may be towards the end of the year that you do meet someone. But if you are thinking of changing your career direction, I would just maybe hold that thought a little bit this year. This year is about getting your finance sorted. It's about working hard. It's about communicating clearly, deeply, and honestly with the people that you love. So if you throw another career move into that mix, it might just be a bit too much to handle. So maybe waiting towards more the end of the year if you're going to decide to make those big jumps. But of course, if a glaringly beautiful opportunity comes up for you that you don't want to miss out on, who am I to say don't go for it? You do you. So, year of the dog, be ready for some luck, success, and abundance this year. In love-related matters, you are being guided to get out of your comfort zone, do things that are a little bit different. If you've never gone speed dating, try it. If you've never been on an app, try it. If you've never just walked down the street and said hello to someone, would you like to go for a coffee? Try it. This is all about things that are making you feel uncomfortable this year, but that could be really good for you. In terms of business, you could earn some good profits this year, dog. There may be some challenges around your workplace in terms of the politics, but this year just asks you to be particularly patient in letting them just work out. And you're really going to be focusing a lot on your health and lifestyle this year. Maybe cutting out some bad habits, introducing some things that are particularly good for you. Pig, for you, this year is possibly everything that you've been waiting for. In terms of your love relationships, you are doing things that you and your partner like to make each other happy, right? So if you are in a committed bond, there's that compromise. If you like sci-fi and they like documentaries, you know, you're going to be swapping doing things that you enjoy. You know, if they like watching a movie and you like ice skating, then you're going to be taking in turns to do what you want to do on date night. But this compromise is actually going to be a really fun thing for both of you. And it's going to make you feel very particularly special and loved. If you are new in a relationship, you might start thinking to yourself, this could be the one. You know, oh my goodness, is this connection real? Don't read too much into it. Don't put too much pressure on it. Just let it flow and go with it. In terms of your career, this could be a rewarding year. You know, for many signs, this is a year of hard work being paid off. But if you run or own your own business, don't spread yourself too thin this year, right? If you're getting on a roll and you're thinking you're doing better financially, or you're thinking you're getting more customers, or whatever it is that's improving, don't then think I have to expand exponentially. One thing that businesses, well, there are two things that businesses can do wrong at the beginning. They either don't expand quickly enough, or they expand too quickly. So this year is just really asking you to have moderation. Don't let anything like cause you unnecessary stress. If you're not ready to take the plunge in a certain direction, just dip your toe in, see how it feels. Not everybody has to dive straight off that diving board, okay? It's okay to just put your toes and have a little paddle for a while. So don't let outside pressures make you make any big decisions when it comes to your finances or career, but know that you will be pushing yourself at your own pace. You have your year 2023 Chinese Zodiac forecast. Thank you so much for joining me. I'd be honored if you would like to subscribe if you haven't already, and if you click or tap on that bell notification symbol, you'll get alerted every time we drop a new video. And like I say, feel free to check out that calculator so that you can figure out which zodiac sign you are. Until we speak again next time, take care and enjoy your Chinese New Year of the Rabbit.